Good morning, welcome to Morning Reviews. It's Kim speaking on Monday, the 22nd of August. Okay, let's look at the euro dollar first. So, 2 weeks since I've been near the market, so it's quite refreshing to have a look back at the markets and see where they've been doing. And I can see the euro's had a bit of a breakout over the last week or so, just having a bit of a retrace at the moment, came back. It's hit the weekly pivot at the moment. The 4-hourly perspective, we're putting in this nice little hammer at the moment, which could see some support coming from this into this 34 moving average and weekly pivot. So all set up there quite nicely for some possible, as I say, possible support from here. We've got an untouched daily pivot above us, so that's always a thought earlier on, but we've already run through right the way down to the S2 there, so there's been quite some selling off through the Asian session. Now it really depends on if we can get back towards the 34s, the 21 moving averages, and maybe 34.50. I mean, at the moment it looks like a bit of a task to get back up there, but it's not a significant movement we're looking at the moment, 46 pips roughly. From where we're sitting, so there is the possibility. However, the trend is certainly to the south side at the moment. The fact that it's come through and moved down so far into the S2 there does make me wonder, have we seen a bit of a limit to where we're running at the moment? It's a difficult one from this perspective, because we're sort of generally retained within the R2, S2, and it's most price action on a daily basis. However, we'll see. For now, though, it's erring on the bearish side from what we're seeing on this time frame, with the lower highs in. However, from a 4-hourly perspective, as I said, and well, certainly there's a decent trend, been a decent trend up on the dailies there, but 4-hourly perspective looks like it may just be putting in a reversal here. Looking at cable then, and see it still hasn't come up and caught the gap. No surprising, it was selling off quite strongly as once again, and it's just run back into the underside of the monthly pivot there, weekly R2 last week. It's now already back down to the daily pivot, weekly pivot there. Again, through the Asian session, we've seen this sell-off coming, and again, it's sort of putting in a 4-hourly pivot, which could be reversing here. Looking at the hourly, from an hourly perspective, again, we've got the daily pivots above us, but we've got the hourly 21s, which they're not a long way away. Overall, again, this looks like it's got the potential to move up there. It hasn't sold off half as much in relative terms as the euro. It's only down to its sort of middies here, weekly pivot. It is really a case of it can start breaking this sort of this level here, maybe get above those 21s. It becomes a play towards the daily pivot and maybe more. But likewise, there's the potential for the breakdown lower beyond down towards its S1. So if we start seeing it sell off, breaking the lows of 6 o'clock, well, could well be on for more downside, at least towards Friday's lows and maybe further. Look at it again, to me it looks weak on this time frame, but the 4-hourly, well, as I said, it really depends on where it can hold where it is here, and if it starts breaking the top of this 4-hourly candle sitting here, pretty much like the euro, it becomes a little bit more, has a bit more bullish potential. Dollar yen, well, it's been selling off once again over the last couple of weeks. From where it's sitting at the moment, again, it's rallied up here, looking ready for its daily 21 at this point, by looks of things. But again, same sort of signal coming in on the 4-hourly, possible reversal here and possible further downside. Again, it's come back. Actually, looks like it's pushed beyond its weekly pivot there. So it's more on the bullish side of things there than anything else. But no. I think immediately obvious here, daily pivot's untouched below. It's again just like the euro, a big move already near enough into its daily R3, but the range on Friday was very tight, so these daily pivots may be a bit pinched and may get pushed out of the way. Um, got a bit of a gap underneath, which if it starts selling off, well, the gap to a daily pivot always looks attractive then. So there's that potential to fill the gap. If that's, I need to really check that across a few different brokers, but at the moment it certainly looks like there's a gap between the close there. Aussie dollar. Aussie, you can see it's not so certain that as some of the other currencies, it hasn't made the sort of push up that certainly the euro has been doing. In fact, it's looking more weak on the daily from a daily perspective, with the lower highs coming in on the candles, lower lows, and certainly on the 4-hourly, pretty similar picture. Got a weekly pivot above us, so any sort of rallies which draws the Aussie up, well, there's the opportunity again for that. But sitting on its daily S1 at the moment, I could be a bit more bullish if it was above the hourly 21s, but at the moment it's again looking weak. And finally, Canadian dollar, but you know what I'm going to look at first, of course, we're going to have to look at the oil price. And well, oil's had quite a good move up since I've been away, and we expect the Canadian dollar to have a good move down, which it has pretty much. A bit of a rally on Friday here on the Canadian dollar, US dollar stroke Canadian dollar. It's already above now. It's weekly pivot, erring it towards the more bullish side of things. No real trading signals here, given any signs. And it really is looking bullish, but again, well, actually we've got the weekly pivot and daily pivot below untouched, so maybe I mean it's had a few periods where it's been pretty oversold. Then to the R2 on Friday, hasn't really recovered or pulled back far enough from that to work that off yet, so there's still a potential for it to be coming back towards its 21s at least at some point, but getting a bit extended away from that sort of hourly 21. Looking at the RSI, bit of divergence going on where we are there as well. So, well, if it gets below the 8, it may be a candidate to come back towards these sort of other pivots here. Certainly the 21 moving average may be below, but at the moment, as long as it's pushing up here, well, so be it. It's looking bullish. Right, that's pretty much it for me. There's absolutely no news of any significance coming out today, so it's probably more of the same, really, looking at some of the days that ran through, but we'll see how it runs. But not expecting anything major. The only data that is coming out is the Canadian wholesale sales. That was easy for me to say. Right, that's it for me. Hope you have a great one. Bye for now.